nothing but modeling paste and painted with acrylics. So this is very fun. Modeling paste can be very fun once you know how to use it. So I'll just use this for the moment as a little platform for this canvas, so we can continue working with the paint that we want to use and to get this texture that we want to get. So before much time is wasted, let's get started with spray painting the background. For those that joined, hello folks, hi. I also want to show you the safety equipment that I'm going to be using today is gloves. I have my safety goggles on and a mask because spray paint is toxic. You don't want to be doing that without wearing a mask. I'm also going to let you know that I'm outdoors. It seems like a room, but it's actually outdoors, people. It's my garage. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, it's gonna be really, if you close it without knowing what you're doing, it's gonna ooze out and make a mess. So be careful. Okay, so there's more than one way to use modeling paste. Okay, I just took my gloves off so I can actually show you what it would look inside. This is what modeling paste looks like on your finger. It's like putty, a little bit softer than the putty that you'd find in like air dry clay, but it has this beautiful texture that you can use to make something like this. When it dries, it's really hard. As you can see, it dries this way. So I like it for making fun projects, and it can take more than one type of paint on it. Like spray painting would definitely work. And as you can see, this was one that I spray painted last week. And so this could be great. Or you could have something. Okay, here is some modeling paste for you. So you can take a little bit of this modeling paste, and I'm going to just show you a little bit on this one, this little corner over here. Adding some more. Remember, I'm using my own finger to do that. We can get that. So you are seeing a little bit of that coming in as well. So my bad. So here's one last thing I want to share with you all. The fun of using look at that. So all of that using just simple modeling paste. Okay. So I want to show you what the spray painted board looks like right now. It looks somewhat like this, shiny, a little bit wet still. And I don't necessarily think it's ready for the modeling paste, but I think you've seen what I did with to start my project, and that's a pretty good start. And so I'm gonna keep working with this little guy, what I would do with modeling paste if I wanted to create a rose or a flower or something pretty that I want to add. So right here is one of my other projects that is sitting And I want to just go back in here to show you what I would do. I wanted to create like a little flower of some sort. Here's how I would do it. It's not necessary to do it this way, but it does help me to sculpt with my hands as opposed to with a glove, because typically something like this would require a lot of manipulation by your hands. And so this will be my base layer. So the very first layer that I put in place. I'm going to take off my gloves for just 1 minute. Okay. So then you would go in and you can do a second layer. And modeling paste doesn't take a lot of time to dry. It'll be dry by your evening. And if you want a stiffer peak, you can just leave it like that. And it would typically stay that way if once it dries, but you do have to make sure it does stay that way, right? Okay. And okay, you can see that it's already starting to look very textured, and it's gonna have that little shape, the peak shape standing in there. Can you see that? I chose the blue painted background so you can see the contrast of what it would look like. So it's a little bit like pottery, I want to say. Modeling paste is like a little bit like pottery. You have to shape it. Okay. 3D texture, in case anybody wants to see it this way. This is a contrast for you. So then we just let the first few pieces dry before we can build on it or around it. So I'm going to just set that aside and go back and check on the spray painted canvas. So here I feel like the paint is a bit dry, so I'm going to just step in there for a second. For those of you that have just joined us here, this is nothing but modeling paste on a spray painted canvas. The spray paint is gold and copper color, and I'm trying to recreate something very simple that I showed you all last week. And some areas are dry, so I'm trying to stick with those areas that have dried up, and I'm trying to work my way across with the modeling paste. Okay, people. So this here is what I showed you last week. I just added this in to show you what modeling paste can do. And I took this. I used a fork, but the other one was a bit more thinner. And so this is how I would have my texture work. If you have extra bits, that's fine. We can wipe it off, or we can leave it in and then just add it to the other flower. And if you have extra bits, make it a bigger flower, you know, once my modeling paste work is done. So basically, all I'm doing is just going over it with the comb. Okay. I see there's a message. Okay. Okay, show the message. Okay. Nothing to report here. So I've got, right? Or a little bit over here. Or a little bit over at the middle. Huh. How about here? Okay, so now that I got all this worked up, I'm gonna go in and show you what I did for the stringy bits. I did take off my gloves at this point because I want to be able to work with my hand. That way I can easily glue in whatever I want to glue in. So I have here on art projects, and so I will take out some and I will show you in a minute what I would use to glue it in. So I know that I always tell people to wear gloves and I don't. It's just that it's a lot easier for me with in keeping in mind that time is such an important factor when we do these lives, and we don't want to waste people's time by putting on the glove and taking off the glove. And so I do apologize, but it's a bit messy when you see it, but I promise you I do wash my hand frequently when I'm working indoors. This one's a little bit thicker. So the last time I did it, I remember it being a little bit harder to paste, and I tried all kinds of stuff. So I did go in for my gold string, which is thin. Okay, so here's the second one that I'm pasting. It's so cute. You won't believe how cute it looks when you see it up close. It's very pretty. And now you can see why I need to use my hands too, right? Because it keeps wanting to move. Paste it like it should look like like the stem of the flower is right there. Okay. Flowers that we've got. So we're almost there. So remember, the modeling paste is still a bit wet. And so when you do go in, if it is touching the flower, don't worry about it. Just press it in. It will accept your stem just fine. There's also one other thing I wanted to mention to you is, remember that this glue looks white here. It's gonna dry clear. It's gonna dry neat and clear, and it's gonna look just like the other flower that I showed you earlier. And this is my last stem that I want to do on camera with you. The rest I will finish up without being on this live camera. And this is how I would do it, sort of more to the wayside, so it looks more natural, and it looks like it's pretty much coming out from one side, one direction, the other one's like coming up from the other, and so it's very natural looking. Okay, so I will be posting photos of what this would look like once it's finished. And when you see all this glue here, press all your stems in and make sure it's stuck together. With you is, you can, if you don't want to leave it white, you can go over it with some paint when it's done. I prefer mine white because it looks good on the metallic background. And so I hope I did justice. I did not finish using the strings to give these little flyaways, little vagabond flowers, their stems, but I think you get the idea, so I don't need to go in and show you every single one of them. So hope you enjoyed my live session today. Don't forget to subscribe for more such content, and do come back. And I do have one last thing I want to share with you all. You see this little kitty cat? This is my screen hugger, and I want